a little red dot swimming in a sea of stars. Got the whole damn verse spinning around you with open arms. It's a race against time that plunges you deep into the black. What are you gonna do when the void stares back? You'll never stop the revolution. Time to begin your evolution. Take a leap of faith. You gotta break the illusion. You gotta make your own solution. Take a leap of faith. The future's just a void, jump away.
Greetings and welcome to Channel Other Doc. I am Jim. I use he, him pronouns. And this is our Dark Matter campaign, Ghosts of Saltmaw. I am playing Cole Hayden, Human Gunslinger. And we shall go around and say hello to everyone, find out who they're playing. And we shall start with Anino. Hello.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino, and I play Rakmara, the Aviara Druid.
And down to Cazimi. Hello.
You are muted. I hit the mute button. Hi, I'm Cazimi. I try to play Klangswell Nunu Fritz Holdsbottom Thunderstruck, the Star Gnome, who is enjoying the company of all of these very strange characters.
And over to May. Hello.
Hi, everybody. My name is May. I use she, her pronouns. I play Lastness Chain Tower. She also uses she, her pronouns.
And over to Mem. Hello.
Hello, everyone. I'm Mem. I'm playing Narita Galeen, Nautilid Witch, and she uses she, her pronouns as well.
And finally, I shall turn things over to our illustrious station master, Alyssa. Hello.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Alyssa, also known as Origami Shuriken, she, her pronouns, and I play everybody else. So, like with all the games on this channel, we'll be using the X card, the N card, and the O card. If we stumble into territory that crosses a line for somebody and we don't want to have it in the game, they'll just give me the X signal or type it in the Zoom chat, and we stop, rewind, it never happened. If we're towing the line and it's okay to have it in the game, but we don't want a graphic description, that's where the N comes into play. We'll cut to black, switch to a different subject, and move on. And when it's all good to keep on piling on the drama, that's where the O comes in. If you ever see an O question mark pop up in the chat, that means I'm just checking in because things are getting a little dramatic, and if it's all good, feel free to respond with an O or however is necessary. So, last week, after defeating the leaders of San Belay's smuggling ring and taking over the bridge of the brigand ship Space Ghost, the party descended to the lower decks to take inventory. Fritz made their way down via the ship's maintenance shafts and chased a small construct out into the engine room where the rest of the party was waiting. And it turned out to be a Wizmo with a clockwork goldfish encapsulated in its spherical crystal head. The tiny construct became instantly enamored with Narita and tried to impress her by playing a prank on Cole, who was not impressed at all and may have threatened violence. once the Wismo was successfully wrangled by the witch, and everyone came to an understanding, they moved on and proceeded to investigate the crew's quarters, where they found the pirate bosun's pet parrot and a secret door behind which the smugglers had been holding hostage a young Nautilid seeker named Oceanus, who, upon seeing that the party had another Nautilid in their number, proceeded to divulge the details of not only their own personal mission on board the pirate ship for some reason, but also the ongoing mission of the Nautilid race for survival. This, or perhaps something about the color of Oceanus's aqua suit, triggered the party's protective instincts, especially Cole's, and they brought the earnest young red suit with them to the galley to be given a proper meal and to decide what to do with our newfound knowledge concerning the smugglers' recent dealings on the supposedly uninhabited planet of Chiron. And that's where we pick up today. So, given the fact that Trooper can't be with us this week, we'll assume that Oceanus is happily discovering all the joys of land cucumbers.
Land sea cucumbers.
Land sea cucumbers.
Oh my
Are
god.
there air cucumbers? That's probably chattering on in the background. Or, contentedly distracted with food, having not eaten for a few days. And the rest of you can talk amongst yourselves.
Poor fella.
So I think one of the things that we'd been talking about doing was going back up to see if we could find any navigation logs and check out maybe where the ship had been or if it had put in plans for any other place. Anybody want to come back up to the bridge with me?
Oh, me.
Not
I
a
don't think
surprise.
we finished searching everything.
Oh, yeah. I think there's another section.
There are a few doors we haven't gone in
Yeah.
where we are, I think.
There are like 5 doors we haven't gone through. I think we got stuck at the galley. And,
We did. Yeah, we
land
got
sea
totally
cucumbers.
distracted with food. Obviously, it also distracted me. I was totally all about the food and not about the doors. But Lasness is all about the doors, right?
I like opening doors.
And Cole likes telling us which doors to open next, right?
yes.
You seem to know which ones we have and which ones we haven't.
Strange, isn't it?
Amazing.
It's as though he's making a map of some kind in his head. Very badly.
That's beautiful.
It's fantastic for the inside of your head.
I know, right?
Was there a door across the hall from the galley?
I think so.
Yes, there is.
We should check that one next.
Okay. Everyone else good with that?
Yeah, I'm following behind Lasness, assuming she's just going to go for it. So,
Well, she's kind of learned not to shake things and not to run ahead for now. She'll probably forget it by morning. But for now, she's not running ahead unless everyone else is cool with it.
Fritz will follow.
I'll be
Okay.
behind you as well.
Okay. So I'm going to go up to the door and I'm going to test it to see if it'll open.
Didn't hear you.
It does. It opens. This seems to be one of the master cabins. It's furnished with good quality furnishings, and the place is tidy. There is a single bunk with its head against the bulkhead on the center line of the ship. There is a table in the room, bolted to the deck, of course. There is an assortment of fruit in a bowl on the table, and a carafe half full of light red liquid, along with a goblet. Set at the table are 2 chairs, and there's also a padded leather armchair. On the deck towards the stern is a wooden brass-bound chest. They really like this nautical theme. And beside the chest is a pair of highly polished black leather boots.
You know, we keep coming across a lot of boots. I wonder how nice the next set is going to be. I want to go immediately to anywhere there. Did you say if there was a desk or not?
Just the table and the trunk.
Okay. Then Lastness is gonna walk over to the trunk, muttering something about might be the bosun or the lieutenant or even the captain's quarters here. Maybe there's a log somewhere in here.
Could be. I bet there's more likely something of value, though.
I like both those ideas, and she's gonna try to open the trunk.
The trunk is locked. This is the first one that's been locked so far.
She looks to Fritz and she says, "Rocket hammer?"
Really? Rocket hammer might be the answer for like big doors, and things that say danger. Probably not this.
Did we get a ring of keys from somebody, or am I imagining that?
Yes, we.
No,
we
there
have
are
a few
keys.
sets of keys.
There are keys.
I believe May has the keys.
I have the
Yes,
keys,
that's-
yes. Just kind of hoping to go with the rocket hammer this time. So I'm going to start trying the keys one by one.
Yep, you will eventually be able to find the right key.
Okay.
As you are doing that, will you give me an intelligence check? Investigation?
Sure. Okay. Investigation. Thanks for all your patience. Okay. 19.
All right. As you are looking at the keys and the lock to figure out which one of them is going to fit, you notice this chest is most definitely trapped.
Okay. Small problem. Nothing huge. There's good news and bad news.
Let's start with bad news.
This chest is more than just locked.
Good news.
I found the key.
So you forgot to chant "No traps."
I did.
Oh,
Oh no, Ascianis was right.
and now we're doomed.
And we are doomed. We are totally doomed.
Can we tell what kind of trap it is?
It looks like it will release some kind of gas if you open it without disarming the trap. However, you are all wearing life suits now.
Yes.
That's true.
Flip on whatever breathing filter thing we need, and can I give it a shot with my either investigation or technology or sleight of hand, whichever would work?
That sleight of hand.
Give it a shot. Oh, 14.
Good enough.
Oh,
You
good enough. Okay,
managed
good.
to disarm the trap, and you can open it safely.
Yay. Can I remove whatever vial or trigger of stuff there was that would have made a gaseous substance?
Sure.
Because you know me, I have to
Yeah.
collect things. Yep, it's a part of the thing. I gotta, yeah. Whoop, into the backpack.
All right. So inside the chest is neatly folded clean clothing, a leather purse containing a 50 credit note, and a spell scroll. We found the deck wizard's quarters. There's also a spell book that holds all of the deck wizard's spells.
Oh, there's some really good stuff in here. I don't even
That's-
think those clothes have spores on them.
It's awfully quaint.
I like that that's now our standard for whether it's good or not.
If it's gonna
Is it-
kill us if we shake it.
Is it clean? Is it clean of mold?
Yeah. No traps.
Rekmara is just leaning against the table, eating the fruit. The only, it's the only thing that's interesting in here from him.
Wait, it's not wax, right? Or space wax?
Oh, it is
He
real
probably-
expensive imported into space fruit.
Wow. I thought he would have eaten space wax. But
Does that taste as expensive as it looks?
More expensive.
Damn.
So a fancy red robe hanging on the back of the door.
Yeah, take that too.
Yoink.
I guess we should probably examine the. How do we do this?
Take a look
How
at
do
the
we do
spell
this
book.
in this modern age to determine if a thing has magical properties?
cast
Oh.
detect magic.
I can do that, right? No, I
Okay.
can only detect good and evil. Never mind.
Take it to a wizard.
Don't ask me.
Druids don't have detect magic? What the hell?
Detect evil.
Yeah, I did not pick that, so I can do that.
Lastness is tapping.
Oh, wait,
Her
no, I
lips.
can do it. I can do that. Never
Oh,
mind.
okay.
So, my character is going to start ritual casting detect magic. This will only take a few minutes. Have some fruit.
Wait a second, guys. Wait a second. I think I have a really, really good question. And she's jumping up and down with excitement.
You slowly pick up a piece of fruit and then slowly put it in my pocket so that I can sell it later.
Good plan.
Slowly pick up the goblet and see whether or not there's any liquid already in it. And if not, put some in it.
There's not, but you can put some in it.
Does the goblet look valuable?
Probably. That's why I've got it. What's your question, Lasness, as we are pocketing the stuff on the table?
As we're stuffing our pockets, what is it? That's nice.
The 7th pair of boots I've collected. I'm ready.
How are we going to decide whose room is going to be whose?
Wait, what?
She's
Well,
already moving in.
Well, it's
our
ours now, right?
Is it?
I guess by right of salvage, maybe.
They're pirates. Is it not just is it
I
not
might
alter pirating by pirating the pirates?
Let's see if there's some way to redefine some terms after we get a chance to talk to the station. But We have a few more rooms to clear out before we can decide who gets which, unless you're going to dibs on something you've already seen without knowing anything else.
No, not really. Just kind of thinking.
We should also figure out if anyone else is missing the ship as, pirates. So
Oh, and there might be more nautilids hidden in secret rooms.
True.
I'm going to take a guess and say probably not. But hopefully not.
Hopefully not. He was really hungry.
Maybe not.
All right. Anything special on the table aside from the fruit?
Valuables were locked in a chest.
Is there anything? So Narita's gonna be looking at the spell book. Is there anything interesting or intriguing about the spell book, or dangerous? I guess I probably should have figured that out before I picked it up and said no traps first.
You can retro that.
The scroll is for Gust of Wind. And the spellbook is only dangerous if you know how to cast those spells. The book itself doesn't really do anything. But give me a minute and I will tell you what spells are in it.
Can she even use those spells as a witch?
Maybe some of them.
While Narita is looking over the book, Lastness goes and swipes a piece of fruit from the table, but she has to jump, and she says, "Ugh," because it's really far.
Fritz, on the other hand, has just clammed on the chair to grab the goblet, so...
The spellbook has 4 cantrips in it: Friends, Mage Hand, Prestidigitation, and Ray of Frost. It has first level spells Disguise Self, Fog Cloud, Mage Armor, and Witch Bolt. And the second level, Gust of Wind, Melf's Acid Arrow, and Misty Step.
Rita will just kind of take the spellbook and keep it with her things, just in case. Have we searched this room for any of those secret nooks and crannies?
Oh, we have not yet.
I certainly can. I seem to have good luck with that.
Perception check.
Can I assist Fritz with that?
Yes, in which case Fritz may roll with advantage.
I rolled a natural 20 first off. So. I don't know what it is with these doors. I can't hit anything, but I can find a door.
Look, we all have things we're good at, okay?
Yeah. Could be worse.
This room does not have any secret doors.
This room definitively has no secret
Definitely
doors.
not.
This room
Just letting
contains no
everybody
secrets.
know.
Does
No
have
secrets.
A nice little viewing window out the back of the ship, though.
Nice. Probably way above my head.
Probably.
I think we've done over this room pretty well. Shall we move on to the next?
Am I done with my spell casting yet?
Yes. There is no magic on the smoking jacket.
Shall we wave the boots and the goblet in front of Rekmarad just in case?
Yeah.
Magic in the room besides the scroll and the spellbook.
Well, that's disappointing. Guess this wasn't a really good mage after all. And he's going to walk out of the room with a bunch of grapes, and he's just going to eat them one by one as he wanders.
Where to next?
Which door next?
Oh, well, we have like 4 doors at the other end of the chamber, of the main chamber.
That's true.
And I think they are like, hang on. Are we heading aft? Are we at 4 now and we're heading aft? Or is it the other way around?
You were at
We were doing back to
4,
front.
and then I took you through the room in the aft, like across.
Okay, so the galley is at the aft.
Yes.
Part of the end of the ship.
The galley is at the 4.
Galley's at the 4?
Mm-hmm.
And then the room across was in the aft.
Yes.
Okay.
Good lord. Wait a minute.
Sorry, I have confused you terribly.
Oh no!
I neglected to mention that there was a door to another room actually in the galley itself.
Oh no! We're doomed now.
But I can hand wave that and say, Oceanus opened that door after saying no traps, and there were no traps. There was just a door to the galley's pantry,
Okay.
with a lot of preserved meats and
Oh, okay, cool.
such.
Which is
And
probably why he's there.
there was another door in that room, and Oceana said no traps, and in there is the maintenance closet.
The mop.
I will stick my head in there just to see what maintenance objects are in here, since I was the one who slid down the maintenance shaft in the other area, just to get a scope on the ship.
Rope, wires, some, tools, wrenches, screwdrivers. Nothing.
I do a rapid mental
particular.
inventory, so I know what's back here if I should
Yeah.
happen to need something like a random cable.
Nothing particularly impressive, but things that you might need if you are going to retain the ship and do maintenance on it.
Yep. Sounds good. Okay, so we've covered that sort of pocket of rooms that we had missed before. And back, is there then?
There is a room off of another door off of the maintenance room.
Oh, okay. Just kind of chains out here.
Yes, it just kind of goes around in a circle. All of the
Okay.
rooms in the 4 are connected.
Ah, I understand.
That was the
now.
mystery. Yeah. Okay. I'll go ahead and I'll say no traps, because Oceanus is probably still a couple of rooms back and not there to yell no traps for me.
It's a very important part of the team.
Apparently.
The person
one
who
time we
yells
didn't-
no traps.
No traps.
The one time we didn't do it, there was a trap, so he's
Yes.
not wrong.
No,
Yes,
we are there.
the trap finder.
Open this door after yelling no trap. And the first thing you notice is there's a distinct odor. If you've ever been planetside in a swampy area, it smells kind of like that. Not fetid, not oppressive, but
Just-
noticeable. And in the middle of the room, there's a table. On the table, there's another jug half full of red liquid, and there are 3 mugs on the table. There's 3 chairs around the table, and there are 3 bunks in the room. And as you swing the door open, 3 lizard folk sit bolt upright in their beds. And they want to know what the heck is going on.
I
Oh,
shout
this is
no
awkward.
traps and close the door. With me, close the door back behind me, and then I yell back through the rooms going, more, still guys, more, not making any sense. Just no traps, thing. Ah.
Lasness was chewing on her fruit, and she pokes her head out the door and goes, "What?"
Thing! Door, no traps, but head. And I grab my mace wrench and like get ready to like bash anything that opens this door, but I'm trying to hold the door closed at the same time. And hoping nobody tries to open it, because I'm going to go flying into that room if anybody opens the door.
And
the moment I hear this happening, I start circling around
Okay.
and going to where the other entrance is to that
Yes.
room from the main area. And I'm just sort of listening there and waiting for them to do what I know they're going to do at the other door.
Because Lasness is there. Help?
I don't know what you want me to do.
Narita walks over to the door and decides to be the one to just do it and opens the door.
Right. Okay, there's still just 3 sort of reptilian looking individuals just staring at the door, a little bit confused. What's the holdup? One of them says, when are we gonna get going?
You're just gonna need a minute, Lasness says as she starts summoning her rocket hammer.
Okay.
Narita looks and says, where are we going exactly?
Are you passengers here?
Had a deal.
Well,
We held up our end. When are you gonna hold up yours?
so
Just
here's
tell
the
him in a minute. Sorry.
You might want to chillax. Is that how they use that word here?
Yes, I believe that is the term in lizard folks language. Yeah.
Dude,
I'm
we
sorry,
need to get
but
those weapons back to Chiron.
Or what?
Or our people are gonna die.
I would think that the presence of the weapons, that means that people will die with weapons. Is that not?
Okay. Since he's actually mentioned Chiron, I'm going to go ahead and knock on the other door, and then I'm going to open it. Because I feel as though we're not about to necessarily fight, but if we are, it's like,
Yeah.
I'm just going to make sure. And it'll still be okay. Hey. Did you 3 by any chance hear that announcement that went over the speakers a little while, about a couple hours ago it was now?
No, it's not working in here. We can't even listen to the comms.
Oh, that explains some things.
Yeah. What were you gonna... yeah, so here's the thing.
Can I tell him?
Sure. Why not? I say slowly, just sort of lowering
Waiting to
my
see.
hand into position.
How
This
is
ship
going?
is under new management.
Okay, so are you still gonna honor the terms of the deal? Because we paid for those weapons.
Pay us.
What exactly are you planning on doing with said weapons?
Ourselves
From whom?
from the brain worms, man.
Brainworms?
Brainworms.
Brainworms, right. Narita's like looking around like brainworms.
Quick out of character
Arcana?
question.
Yeah.
Do we all know what brainworms are?
Aiden does.
Yeah, I'm just slowly nodding quietly.
Does an Arcana or history
How about a
roll?
history?
Okay. 13.
Okay. There's not a whole lot of public record about Chiron, except that it was deemed uninhabitable,
Because of brainworms?
perhaps, because of inhospitable endemic life.
So would I happen to know whether lizard folk, whether there are lizard folk that claim Chiron as their home?
You know that there were, on the planet Lexhay, there was a tribe of lizard folk, and some of them were hired as laborers to assist in the establishment of a colony on Chiron,
Okay.
which was supposedly evacuated after it was overrun by cyworms.
Yeah. Did they, are you from the colony they tried to set up over there?
Yeah.
Just to be clear, because I want to, so the Lakshay and Chiron are separate planets, right? Okay.
In the
just making
same part of the system.
sure. Okay. And all right, and so my understanding is that okay.
Chiron is would be a maw jump or two
Okay.
away from Saltmaw station.
What kind of colony, do I know what kind of colony they were going to set up on Chiron?
Well,
Was it going to be like a colony predominantly inhabited by lizard folk, or was this something else?
the Lexhay garrison is predominantly human, but they had some of the minorities from the planet Lexhay that came along to be hired labor. So it was going to be a military base with perhaps some civilian attached. They were
Attached
gonna.
or
They were gonna
conscript?
conscript, whatever. They were gonna try to colonize the entire planet because, as Cole knows, it's a veritable paradise except for those pesky cyworms.
Yeah.
So all there was so it did not go very well.
Yeah.
You know, Cole, that the cyworms seem to attack the most heavily populated areas of the attempted colonies. But the smaller areas where the civilians may have been set up with less technology and in fewer numbers may have perhaps survived and or been cut off from the rest of the garrison.
Oh, great. That's wonderful.
So sort of a rescue mission with weapons that were bought and paid for, paid to another group, not us. So we don't have any of the profits of having. This is way too complicated for my grade.
How many of you are still on there?
A lot.
They weren't able to evacuate?
No. We've been there
Damn it.
for a couple generations.
How have you made that work?
We went underground, but people keep on living their lives, and now that the population has grown, and the Sawagan took to the lakes, and I think the Psyworms got them, and now they've led the worms back to us.
That's not good.
So there's 3 of you. No matter how many weapons you have, 3 is not going to do it.
3 of us. We're just on a mission for the Queen.
How many people are actually? How many of you are actually left? Last you knew.
A couple dozen.
Wouldn't it make more sense to just get you out of there?
Where are we gonna go?
Or contact your prior home planet for help.
They're the ones that left us there.
Yeah.
Couldn't we
Sorry,
just
we're
organize
dealing with these slime balls?
Well, wouldn't it make more sense to just bring a fleet from here to evacuate them and bring them back to the Maw? It seems like the most prudent way to do things.
They're willing to leave.
Yeah.
Have any of you been to Chiron? You have any idea what it's like there?
Doesn't sound pleasant. I think people would want to leave.
It's damn near close to suicide trying to... Oh, Jesus.
So what you're saying is we shouldn't take them and their weapons back.
But if we don't, they'll definitely die. Like, Lastness, like, stamps a foot. She's, like, really, really into this now.
And Fritz is on the order of, well, it is their weapons, and they can go. We happen to be standing on a ship that currently has no owner of record, except for those of us who are standing here saying we potentially claim it. We could just turn the whole ship over to them. Of course, we'd have to, like, take a few things first, but...
Some more fruit?
Check for fruit.
Yes.
Check for more fruit.
Oh,
And boots.
it seems unlikely that they can just pilot this ship.
Well, yeah, there is that kind of minor issue I thought somebody would bring up, but it was worth putting out there.
What
Right.
if we just,
One
swing
of
by,
the,
drop them off?
One of the lizard folk raises his hand.
Yes. Sir. Person.
I can navigate.
Okay, well, that still means we need a pilot.
Oh, I know the answer to this one.
You, isn't
Oh
it?
dear.
Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, I'm going to presume that the folks that I knew had more firepower than we're currently bringing to the planet. So dare I ask? And it's been a couple of generations since then. Is that what you're? It's been like since we were that
Well,
since.
For the lizard folk.
Oh yeah, okay. So they have short lifespan. Okay. How old / experienced do these particular lizard folk look?
They look. One of them definitely looks like a seasoned warrior. One of them is a more mystic type, and the third one is a big burly guy who looks like he's there to do the heavy lifting. But they're adults. They may look like young adults to you, but it's hard to say. They're lizard. Yeah, they're lizards, and you probably don't deal with a lot of them.
Just sort of, kind of like those. They're still alive there now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And was your plan to get them off, or your plan was to try to dig in and find some...
Well, it was kind of going to depend how all this went down. If the smugglers kept up their end of the deal and just gave us weapons and left, we were going to do our best to fight them off. But if they double-crossed us, I wasn't above taking them out and taking their ship.
Yeah, but I mean, let's say you get the weapons and you get back there. How long do you think you're going to last?
Don't know. We're just getting by.
This is insane. This is insane. And Cole actually is going to leave the room and he's going to wander back to the kitchen. He is visibly disturbed.
Not to put the pressure on, but to me it kind of sounds like we're running out of time and options. Pulling a lot of people into this may not be a possibility.
I don't see how and he counts how the 6 of us might be able to do this, assuming that Oceanus would hop aboard, but that's even assuming that we could actually take possession of this ship.
I can work on that.
Well, I mean, it's not a question of whether we can physically do it. It's whether or not someone will prevent us from doing it through red tape.
Well, if we, just take off for Chiron, I think that's less of an issue. We can deal with the legalities of that later.
And I can leave enough of a red tape barrier to give us a little bit of time, I think.
And I can pilot this ship really, really fast.
I don't think that's
we don't have supplies. We would need to prepare for a mission like this if we were even supposed to go and do this. I mean, we're not
Cole,
exactly getting paid.
How full is that pantry? So Fritz is going to wander back to where Cole is in the pantry. You know we're going to be taking them back to Chiron, right?
You just want to drop them off and let them get killed?
It's them and the weapons. And we have a little bit of time to figure out what happens with us in the meanwhile.
You know that's a death sentence, basically. You happy with that?
Would you rather have them turn around and have them fight us right here on the ship for the control of the ship in their arms? They're going to go back.
Yeah, they're always eager to go. Oh, God.
Either they're going to try to fight it out themselves on board, on the planet side, or we're going to figure out a way to get at least some of them out of there.
You're actually thinking about going down there.
I was going to say why not, but there are a lot of easy ways to say why not.
If we go down there, we're all going to die.
Gotta die sometime.
You know, I sure as hell tried to make sure it wasn't going to be there.
Yeah. Maybe you could stay behind. Bring in the cavalry.
Oh, God.
Or not.
I think the cavalry is going to listen.
Oh,
Think
probably
anybody listens? Nobody ever listens when you're trying to do something like this.
not. Which is why there's a bunch of them stuck on the surface.
Jesus, we try to do an evacuation. Okay. Depends on how the worms have been moving, but maybe it's possible. Maybe. It's just there's certain points we'd have to hit, and why am I even considering this? Look,
Because you know you can.
okay, we got to deal with, and I just sort of step. I don't know where Oceanus is right now, but I just sort of try to step in a direction where he's not in. Okay, we're not bringing the kid. I say, sort of gesturing wherever Oceanus is.
I think we can get him back to his ship if we move.
Yeah, if that's a good place for him, but Jesus. Okay.
Well, I mean, they at least gave him a weapon before they sent him off, right?
They always do that.
Duh. I mean, I got a wrench even.
No, it's just more convenient. The price of what the weapon's worth to them. The weapon's worth almost more than he is, but not by much. This kind of thing always goes sideways.
Yeah.
And
You have a
there's-
lot of experience with sideways too.
And you see him he's very visibly conflicted
Yep.
right now, and so he's going to be just sort of like, can we at least see if we can get some kind of aid on this? I mean, they didn't know there was an entire actual colony that's been surviving down there. We should at least try.
Yeah.
You can see if we can get some kind of aid.
Why don't you get on the comm and check on that? The rest of us will take a look at the last remaining rooms here. I don't think we're going to find anybody else who's going to spring some stories on us, but we at least should know what we've got going in.
No. I'm going to finish the freaking job. We go further than that, though. That's just going into the freaking maw of madness. This is insane. Everyone's just trying to get themselves killed. And he's going to step out of the room, and he's going to head to just somewhere in he's not changing floors. He's just going into sort of the common area, deck common area. And he's gonna call Lee. We don't have to do that right now if you don't want to dive into it. I know that I'm taking up a lot of time.
I enjoyed that greatly.
Yeah.
While you guys were having that convo, Lasness was offering exotic fruit to the lizard men. I'm assuming they're men.
They are.
Okay.
Lizard people.
Yes.
And Fritz will come back into the room where everyone is, away from Cole, while overhearing that Cole is starting to make some sort of call. And come back into the room and going, okay, so Cole's thinking about it. I think he's checking with some friends. Why don't we have another quick look around and make sure we know what all else is on the ship here before any other decisions get made.
And if any other people are on here.
Well, yeah, I mean, we don't want to find another, room full of folks.
Well, even if we do go, we're going to have to bring some supplies. I mean,
What sort of supplies?
well, equipment for trekking around in a swamp. Maybe some medicine in case this one over here, and he points down at the dwarf, starts breathing in more than just molds. Maybe she might get bit by a poisonous snake.
Oh man. Okay, so that happened to me once in Star Dwarf Scouts. You won't believe what I had to do.
Fritz just goes back into the hallway and goes to find another door somewhere.
Hey, wait up! I haven't told you yet, she says as she chases after Fritz and goes to open the door first.
No traps!
Oh, no traps!
You are back in the captain's quarters, which you have already looted.
Okay. All right.
All right, next door. All right. No traps.
You've already checked all the rooms on this floor.
Okay.
Have
Oh,
we?
good.
That's weird.
So next would be going up.
The records.
Sorry, I missed the beginning of what you said.
If you're still planning on going back to the bridge to check the ship's logs and stuff, otherwise you have cleared all of the ship.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Oh, okay.
Somehow
So
I thought we
since-
missed like three doors, but maybe I was thinking of something.
think they were
those
connected.
other two
Those were
doors,
connected.
2 or 3. Those other 3 doors that you check, that you missed, you can check them, and they just lead down to the deck below.
Okay.
Okay.
So Fritz is going to go ahead on up to the bridge and look for whatever logs, especially navigation logs, but just general logs as well. See what can be found.
Okay. You find a record that the smuggler ship made an emergency landing on Chiron. And there's an entry saying that the lizard folk made a bargain to help them get their ship back in working order in exchange for their aid, weapons, etc., to fend off the threat against their colony.
Okay. So the payment was getting the ship running and getting them off Chiron.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. I'll relay that information to the others, especially Cole, just to see if that colors thoughts about going back and helping.
Well, I have to.
And while Cole is busy pondering that, Fritz is going to see if I can get a comm connection to the main library at the station. And I have completely forgotten what I was going to look up.
Was it about cyworms?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, we can come back to that.
Yeah, we'll have to because I just literally blanked as to what I was going to look
Let
at.
me know if you think of
Yeah,
it in the meantime.
I will.
Cole?
Yeah.
Hi.
You made a call to Lee?
Yeah, I'm calling Lee.
This is Watson.
And
Get
there's
those smugglers processed in the brig. How you doing?
I gotta tell you something.
That doesn't sound like good news. Should I
There's
be
a
sitting
column-
down for this?
Maybe.
Okay, give me a sec. Let me step away. Okay, go ahead.
We left a whole colony down there, Lee.
Frel.
You remember there's a bunch of lizard folk brought along to try and help out?
Yeah.
They got left there. And
They told us that laborers were overrun.
apparently they weren't, because I've just talked to 3 of their grandkids.
Shit.
They've got a queen down there, apparently. And
Oh, she's gonna be pissed at us.
I don't know if that's the thing, they're looking for aid. I'm trying to figure out if there's some way at all possible that there could be aid sent to get them off that hell planet.
If we go to the Mawkeepers, they're neutral. We can go above the heads of the brass.
Huh.
I mean, we could try to talk to the council, but
Well, you know they're not. You know the brass aren't going to do anything. Hell, they didn't before.
I know how you feel about Eliander.
Yeah. Also, I think that if he hears I'm involved, he's not going to want to help much either.
Frail.
But if there's...
We talked to Dr. Wu.
Yeah, we would probably help.
She'll be on board. You know, she quit the military because of Chiron.
I mean, you know, there's the... Seems our club's maybe, you know... It's a small club, but there it is. I can't even believe I'm contemplating going back there. But they have...
You couldn't live to yourself if you don't. I couldn't.
You're right.
But I won't let you go alone.
You sure? You know what it means.
I know. That's why I won't let you go alone. I swore that day I'd never abandon another one of my mates. You know how hard I fought to get as many people out as I could that day.
Yeah. I did too, but Oleander wouldn't let me out until it was already too late,
No,
but you know
no.
that.
We can't do anything about that, but we can do something now.
Jesus, you talked me into it. You're too good at this.
I know. That's why I'm up here at the space station. Maybe I should have gone into politics.
Now that's something. That's something
Yeah.
I'd have liked to have seen.
Who knows? Well, if we survive this, maybe I'll run for the council.
Oh, heck. Wow.
Unseat Edda for the first time in 3 sessions running.
That's a... wouldn't that be a thought?
It's
Okay. All right, well...
one thing at a time.
Yeah.
One thing at a time.
Who are we? Okay, so if we talk to the... Who are we talking to? What was above the people above the brass?
Chief
The council?
medical officer, the
Ooh,
law
okay.
keepers.
Okay.
I can talk to some of my crew.
All right.
Trust them.
Well, let me know how that goes.
Fisher.
I don't know how
Come on,
much.
Fisher. Sweet.
I don't know how much time we've got, but hopefully we can get this, get them some kind of a chance of actually making it out of there.
I'll get you as many people as I can.
I just answered an ad. I didn't expect these other folks to just, they're all so new. I don't want to get these people killed like I did the last ones. I really don't.
We won't let that happen.
Okay.
We're gonna make this right.
I will hold you to this.
I'd expect nothing less.
All right. We'll be
Here
here.
in an hour. What's an out?
Shit.
Fritz is going to walk in on Cole just as he hangs up and says shit. And looks Cole dead in the eyes and just says, are we getting supplies too?
So Cole has looked away for a second, and then he looks back. He's like, "Yeah, we're gonna go in an hour. Looks like we're gonna have some support. I don't know how much, but it's in the works now. We're gonna see what we can get. We're going through. Let's say we're bypassing the usual channels for this.
So we're talking personnel and material?
We didn't really talk about the material specifically, did we?
Can you maybe give a call back and see if they can bring another shuttle full of stuff?
I can give it a shot.
Assuming that somebody is coming.
Yeah, we can give it a shot. So I'm going to use the comm. I'm actually going to, I guess, if this is possible via the comm, I'm just going to text Lee.
Yes, you can text. It'll pop up on her HUD.
Oh, by the way, bring TP.
She just says, "This ain't my first rodeo."
Of course. Actually, in the meantime, we'll probably need to find out what their population is roughly, and try to kind of get a plan together.
Do that, I would say this is probably a good opportunity to take our break.
Yes.
That sounds good.
Okay.
Excellent. Well, folks, we shall now go off on break for a few minutes, and we shall return and see what is happening. See you in a little bit. Hey, welcome to the break, and I am here with Dylan Anarisis to talk about all the various things going on.
Hi. You mentioned all the various things that I have going on, and there are many of them that I have
This is
to switch
true.
between.
I should probably narrow that down just a wee bit for the sake of, so that we don't have to begin talking about the about the primordial sludge and go from there. Or that would take a little while, I suspect. You do streaming. How did you get into that? What started it for you?
Ooh, oh gosh, that's a complicated question to answer. I mean, is it complicated? No, it's maybe just a little long.
That's okay.
So I found streaming like as a viewer initially, because a friend of mine was big into Twitch and was watching Twitch like all the heckin' time, and he started watching roleplay over on ItMeJP's channel, and I was his GM and the GM for like our group of friends. He was like, Dylan, you got to watch these shows. They're so much fun. I was like, is watching somebody else play a role-playing game actually that fun? And I started watching, I think it was the West Marches was the one that I started with. And then ended up getting sucked into Swan Song, which is one of the shows that Adam Coble ran for them pretty early on. And I had a moment while I was watching Swan Song, because Adam, from my impression, seems to like theater of the mind a lot, and does, at least at that time, didn't put a whole lot of time into like maps or anything like that. And there was like, they had one encounter where they desperately needed a battle map so that everybody could understand what was happening, and he just used the like Roll20 draw tools, and it looked so bad because the Roll20 draw tools like are virtually incapable of making anything that looks good. And I remember watching that and thinking, I could do better than that. And like, there's no way that I could do better than like the rest of the show, obviously, but like just this one portion of like making the part in the middle look good, because at the time that's what I did for my home games. I would pour hours and hours into making the tabletop look good. And so, fast forward a year and a half or so, I finished college. I was doing the like trying to find a job grind, trying to find like freelance work, and my long-term D&D campaign ended like right around that time. And so I took that friend who had got me to start watching RPG shows, and another of the more regular players in our home game, and was like, I have an idea. I kind of want to try like streaming RPGs and like be intentional about it. Like not just, let's the three of us running like play a game and have a silly time, but like let's go into this knowing that we're trying to start a show. Are the two of you cool with that? And they were like, I mean, do we have to do work? And I was like, not really. And they were like, yeah, sounds great. And that was my first RPG show back in 2018, I think. I can double check, but it was a D&D 5e show that was just the three of us playing a homebrew world I made, and to an audience of 0 to sometimes 2 people.
That's you always got to start somewhere, and that's really cool. I also can easily identify with that whole thing about anytime you want to start a project, because as I have done with podcasts very much before, this whole thing. Would you like to join me to do this? Do I have to do anything? No. Excellent. I'm in. So totally good. That is very cool. So was that the first stuff that you had on your Twitch channel?
More or less. And I'm looking at my archives now, and it was actually 2017. Good Lord, that was too long ago. But I remember I built myself a new computer. I was really happy to finally have a computer that could like run games and do more than one thing at a time, and actually handle all the graphic design work I was trying to put through it. And I fell back into my World of Warcraft addiction.
Ah, yes.
Playing with, again, that same friend, and who, if anybody watched my first show, Unfettered, Top Hat is the friend I'm referring to. But I was playing with him and my sibling, and we were doing raiding stuff, and I was like, I can just like download OBS and stream some of our raids, because we were funny. Like, we had a good time. We weren't super hardcore about it. We just like did these raids and had jokes. And so technically the first streaming I did was like casually streaming some of our raids and dungeon runs, mostly because like funny shit would happen and I wanted to be able to have a recording of it to be like, look, remember this funny joke. But really it wasn't until I started working toward this idea of like, let's do an RPG show, in I want to say like July of 2017, that I like took some time and like made some stream graphics and really got myself set up to start streaming.
Cool, awesome. And so I guess the only other thing I'd want to ask right now is about just sort of how that kind of evolved into other games. We don't have to go into huge detail, but
Yeah.
what do you think sort of got you into more of a rhythm with it, if that's the right word? Maybe it's not the right word. I don't know.
Honestly, and this is gonna sound bad without nuance, but audience, like I feel like I had a pretty unique, or at least uncommon, experience getting into streaming, in that it wasn't, especially streaming RPGs, because it wasn't just like I had a game and I wanted to like put it on the internet,
Yeah.
for whoever happened to show up. Like I went into it very intentionally, with the goal of having multiple shows and really approaching things from a show structure, with an eye toward entertainment. So like that goal was always there, but what got me where I am now, as opposed to where I was at the beginning, was just like myself and two friends playing D&D every week, was audience, like people showing up and being like, I like what you do, I'd like to see more things. And that gave me sort of like the confidence boost I needed to start putting out signups, so it wasn't just me and my two white dude friends, and start trying new systems, playing games that honestly, like, I'd wanted to play for years but could never get my home group to agree to. And it's just that, like, I love storytelling. Everything I do, from game design to graphic design to being a GM, all of it centers around some form or another of storytelling. And I just really like being able to, come together with a couple other people every week, every 2 weeks, every however often, and tell meaningful, entertaining stories together.
Awesome. Well, that I think is at the heart of it, and that's you do that exceptionally well.
Thank
so
you. I do try.
I mean, thank you for doing that, because it's still you do it, even remembering the even though you are doing a show, I still know you are remembering the human element. You have them take breaks regularly and hydrate and what have you, and it is it's an excellent thing. So if folks want to find your stream or anything else when they're looking for you online, where should they go?
I mean, my Twitter's where I have everything, but Twitch is the place to go. That's twitch.tv/Anarisis, ANARISIS. There are not 15 other ISs after them, as some people might say. But yeah, it's just Anarisis is where I'm at pretty much everywhere.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much for coming and hanging out with me for a few minutes.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me and asking some interesting questions.
Appreciate it. I appreciate it. I'm going to kick things now back over to me, probably, or if we're still hanging around, running around backstage panicking, we'll be kicking it over to some sort of moving picture while there's music in the background or some such thing. But either way, I will see you in a little bit. Greetings, we have returned. And we had things happening. Things! And also perhaps stuff.
Yes. So the party is quickly gathering as much information and backup as they can gather.
And I've still totally forgotten what it was that I was going to have the station library look up for. So I'm just going to have to space that one.
Okay. All right. So, is there anything else that you would like to accomplish during the hour of prep time that you have for this new mission?
How far is it to any local nearby markets?
There is a market back on Saltmaw Station.
Do I have enough time to get there and back again?
Yeah.
There's probably time for one shuttle run if people wanted to get to the station and back for something. I'm actually going to use that time to completely familiarize myself with the main systems of the ship and rack my brain for what it was that I was supposed to look up.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna take our loot and we're going to convert it to currency and or tools and goods that we might need for this trip.
Can we also get paid for the job that we did? Are we not done yet?
We're done. We should get our money too.
Yeah.
Are you gonna go?
Yes.
Yes, you
Get that
should.
money.
In fact,
That's right. There are like rewards. There are bounties.
when Lee took the smugglers back to be processed, in fact, you will find that your payment has been deposited into your accounts.
Yay! Credits.
Money.
Credits.
Money. Good Lord.
How much did we agree for this?
2 gold.
2 gold.
2 whole
Actual
gold.
gold coins.
One for you, one for me. 2 for you, and 1, 2 for me.
Wait a minute. Something suspicious about that counting method.
I like it.
For me, boss? 1 for you. Me, boss? 1 for you. Unexpected Looney Tunes.
I'm remembering that now. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember if there were like other things going on. That if I had taken proper notes instead of drawing pictures, then perhaps I would know what was happening.
I gave you a number. Was it 500 credits each? You have also gotten a bit more than that because of the bounties and the return of the silk and the brandy and the merchandise. You will get more for that if and when you are eventually able to return that.
Sweet. Somebody start an account on Space Craigslist.
Is it for the boots?
Yes.
So
We have a separate account for the boots.
Any supplies that you would like to pick
Pair
up?
of boots. Actual leather.
Um,
Book of erotic poetry. Actual physical book.
What?
Um,
Are you selling that?
That was the primary thought, to sell it, but he hasn't had a chance to do it yet because he'd have to actually go to a specific market to sell it.
That's the
Um,
reason. That's what
A
it
very
is.
specific market.
Don't let Lee see that you have it. She will never let you live it down.
this is true. It's still in his coat.
So how much in credits do we have now?
Definitely 500 to start per person.
'Cause I know I had at least 55. So we
Just in
say
stuff you picked up.
pretty much, yeah.
Lastness, as much as she wants to go back to the station, she's actually going to stay behind with Fritz to look around the ship. Is it too soon to say that she already has the takeoff checklist feat ability?
I'll give it to you.
Okay, I wasn't sure if I ran it by you before.
Yeah.
Okay. So for anyone else in the group, the takeoff checklist means any simple maneuvers you undertake while piloting a ship go much quicker and smoother with no risk of mishap. And standard checks and preparations involved go a little faster.
The no chance of mishap is a very nice thing in this group.
Yes, but it's only for I think it's the simple stuff though. It's only the simple, so.
That's okay. It's the simple stuff that'll trip you up. I mean, you can do all the jumps you want to, but you try docking and you miss, you're in trouble.
True.
It's one less thing to have to scream no traps for.
So true.
So yeah. Rekmara is actually going to go to the market, or at least the medical station, and try to see if he could barter for some healing potions and antitoxins.
Will I be able to buy weapons at the station? That seems like probably a no.
Anything can be a weapon if you believe in it enough.
She wants one that puts some distance between her and the person.
How pointy, on which end do you need it?
Definitely would like a blaster of some sort.
You can.
It's not pointy.
You collected a lot of blasters. If you want to keep one of those,
Okay,
you don't
I'll do
even
that.
have to pay for it.
We have a ton of blasters.
I just didn't want to make assumptions that I could keep the things that we found,
Yes,
even though I guess we've kept
absolutely.
everything else, so why not? Okay, great.
Legitimate salvage.
All right, let me look up some blaster specs.
Spoils of war.
If it is a blaster that you are able to use, you may keep it.
What are witches proficient in?
So it says, what did it say? It said blowguns, and I'm like, I don't know what that is. I'm just assuming that's
Blowgun? It's like that dart.
Oh,
thing
the
that you
blow
shoot.
dart thing. Oh, boo. Okay. Is a blaster considered a simple weapon?
Let me look.
That's an excellent question. Let me look at my weapons list here. There are simple blasters, yes.
Yeah, witches can learn simple blasters, antimatter dagger, and photonic lash.
So,
Oh, photonic lash.
Well,
There are so many puns with that.
I liked Photonic Lash better with their original drummer.
that one took a moment to like sink in there. We're gonna go with the simple blasters. I want something with some distance. Everything so far has been melee.
So you can use a phaser, which is non-lethal, like Fritz has. You have the repeater blaster, or the swarm pistol, like Lee has on her mech suit.
We'll We'll go with the repeater.
Okay. That does 2d6 radiant damage, and it has a range of 60 feet to 180 feet.
Boy, those plasma launchers are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
I lucked out as I was
and
able
I
to
have had
pick
to
any
account
weapon.
for inflation for all of the loot in Saltmarsh to make it fit into the dark matter universe. Otherwise, you would never be able to afford a darn thing.
I'm probably going to pick up some things, but I just want to. I'm trying to figure out based on having fought Psyworms before potentially.
Yes.
I'm wondering if I would happen to know of any particular things that we might need that might help in such an endeavor. Anything that might help take them out.
It would help to have some kind of armor to make it harder for them to burrow into your body. And anything that would give you resistance to psychic attacks.
Okay.
Do we know if there's a specific place that they prefer to burrow into? Like they find getting in through the ear the best way, or under the chin, or through the squeedly spooch, for all I know?
There are particular restaurants which they prefer to do it at. No.
Gas station egg salad sandwich?
Yeah.
Any way that they can get into your skull.
Okay.
It's not good. But I'm presuming that sometimes how big are they?
Individually, they are tiny.
Oh, these are swarm creatures.
They are.
They are indeed.
So
yes,
they can get at you, then presumably at other parts of your body and work their way up, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
In sufficient numbers, amassed in large quantities, they form a gestalt consciousness that is intelligent and hostile.
I will make sure to relay all of this information so that people will perhaps
if you have a way to protect yourselves from fear,
Oh no.
that would also come in handy.
We already know that a few of us do not. We are quite susceptible.
I am a terrible, horrible GM.
So Fritz is going to find like a blindfold going along with the if I can't see it, it can't see me philosophy.
Okay.
They're all bright blooded beasts. That's what they are.
Let's see.
Is there any particular
wizards' quarters?
Yeah.
Is there a particular way to like really defeat them? Like if they're worms, can they like be defeated by salt or space salt?
Spalt?
Spalt.
Spalt.
Oceanus lives on, right?
They don't have any particular vulnerabilities that Cole is able to tell you about.
Well, most things are pretty vulnerable to rocket hammers, so we'll
Yes.
see.
And you may have to be prepared to fight your allies if they get taken over.
Actually, another question about how they live. Do they live like in a large colony area? Something easily observable / targetable from the ship?
You're gonna try an orbital bombardment?
Nuke 'em
Nuke
from
it
orbit.
It's the only way to be sure.
I'm okay with that. I mean, we've got somebody in a mech suit, right? Which, where's the cat?
Love it.
No.
I'm beginning to sense why Cole was so hesitant to go to this place. It's beginning to sink in just a little bit. Oh, sorry, buddy.
Yeah, see, I don't know what you all are worried about because I'm going to be up here keeping the ship running. So
Oh, okay.
Good luck. I hope it all works out for you.
Yes, it should be easy enough to recognize the swarms, whether or not you can identify them from in orbit. As Oceanus mentioned, there is some sort of psionic field that prevents the scanning of the planet.
And they have a typical like insectoid structure of drones, warriors, and queen.
Mm-hmm.
Royal jelly and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So if we take out the queen, there will be a power vacuum. We just got to get to the queen. Oh, that's not so bad. We got this, guys. We've got this.
You know, just get in there, get to their most important member of their society, just take her out. That's fine. There's no problem. Straightforward.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Got it.
Uh-huh.
You can go in first.
Wasn't that the plan?
I think that's what she was counting on. How good are we going to be at taking her out when she gets taken over?
Oh,
Not
Good
good.
luck.
Based on
Leave that to the Onis in their mech suits.
that's as long as somebody says, "Get away from her, you bitch."
That's the important thing. I'm trying
Got
to
to make sure we work
remember,
that in.
figure out how it is. That, are there like helmets or anything that like you
Right,
can
like, oh,
purchase
my
that
head.
might prevent you from being psychically invaded? I'm
Or
not
being
sure.
burrowed into.
Yeah.
Oh, your life suits do have helmets.
That's
Is that
something.
enough?
Well,
So does that mean, just a quick mechanic question, if our life suits have helmets, then does that mean it gets incorporated into our armor and shares our armor stat?
Yes.
Okay.
You can wear the life suit underneath your other armor.
Excellent.
So, while wearing the life suit, you can breathe normally and survive underwater or in the vacuum of space without ill effect for up to 24 hours at a time. The suit must be removed for 2 hours to replenish its air supply. While wearing it, you are immune to the effects of inhaled poisons, gases, and pathogens. Additionally, the suit insulates you from extreme environmental temperatures, and you can wear it, as I said, under your regular armor.
Also, it converts your waste to water.
Yes.
Spices the life. Well,
Could probably get some grenades.
Yeah. Might pick up some more, at least some more concussion grenades.
we've
I
already
calmed
covered the
down-
poison stuff, right? Sorry.
Yeah. I calmed down to somebody who's at the base. Hey, if you could grab some liquid nitrogen while you're at it.
Sorry, I'm just sort of, yay, shopping. Just sort of looking through all these things that I never figure out what I want.
I'm trying to figure out if there's anything that will help.
My armor's pretty decent, so I can't even send you guys to go pick me up like a better set. So I think I'm good with that. Any other? Because I didn't go, but is there anything in particular, like item-wise for weaponry, that we may want to consider?
This thing looks promising. It's called a Doom Gauntlet.
That sounds positive.
I was just going to pull together materials to have on hand to be able to build any number of different area of effect cone weapons that we might end up needing. Anything from a basic CO2 fire extinguisher. We have lots of alcohol available if we want to do flammable directed things. And if you get a little liquid nitrogen for me, I could also do a nice freeze ray out of it.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get some liquid nitrogen. Just like that.
It's a spaceship. I mean, it's a station.
Yeah. Shouldn't be that
It's
hard.
everywhere.
Necessarily.
Check the ice cream stores, if nothing else.
Yes. You clean out the Dippin' Dots.
I'm trying to figure out
Poland.
if any of these, and I'm just sort of, I'm looking through the Dark Matter book, and I'm trying to figure out if there are like if any of these items that I guess they throw into magic items are things that one could purchase, or if this is a thing where it is not, where if there's no price listed, you can't get it, except through adventuring.
It depends on how common of an item it is. So the more common it is, the less expensive and difficult it would be to procure. Doom Gauntlet is probably not just going to be on hand.
I was kidding about the Doom Gauntlet.
I was looking to see if there were any like sort of potions or things that could help, and I just came across Potion of Quantum Effect.
Oh.
Uh-oh.
But I feel like that probably wouldn't work, as it is rare.
Or would work once you found it.
I mean, it would work once you found it, but it wouldn't. Yeah, looking for it wouldn't work on the station. But it's like if you drink it after you get the worms in, and then your body falls out of phase. Do the worms stay in phase, or do the worms go with you?
Question.
You didn't think about that?
I mean, we all have glass domed helmets, so I don't know how much that's going to help us. But
Yeah, I feel like most of the armor that would help out would be probably more expensive than we can actually get individually. I don't want to necessarily
There, you can
sit here and
get an internal bomb for the low price of 50,000 gold credits.
Internal bomb.
Yeah. So when you die, then you take everything out around
blow
you.
them all up.
But you would have to get that surgically implanted first.
We can't do that.
We
With
have
45
time for that.
Ooh, potion of solar radiance. Now this is an interesting idea. It's uncommon, but when you drink it, your body sheds bright white light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 foot. The light is sunlight. Until this duration ends, you can use a bonus action on your turn to deal 1d8 radiant damage to each creature within the bright light.
Mm.
So does that include internally?
Battle your inner demon worms.
Because that might be something that could work. We can like find something like that, then that might do maybe something. I don't know, but like sort of burn everything. But it's like it's area radiant damage could work against swarms at least.
Yep.
So if something like that were possible to find, I might actually look for that.
Okay.
Do potions of healing still exist?
They do. In fact, you collected some from the library in the Alchemist's Lair.
How many do we
picked up
have?
3.
Had one that had 2 uses.
And didn't Anino just didn't Ekmara just pick some more up?
You may have.
How many can I afford?
How many can you afford? Let me see. Um, 50 credits. How many do you want to afford?
I'll take 5.
Okay.
We'll have 7 in all, I guess. And how much are the anti-toxins?
Same price. 50 cred.
All right. I'm buying 3 of these, but if anyone ends up needing to use them, they owe me 50 credits.
Nice of you to give us the manufacturer's price. Thank you.
It's 50 credits per potion of healing. Is there such a thing as potion of increasing the sort of saving throw we need to make when worms are trying to take over our brains?
might be more along the lines of a spell that or ability that your druid friend might have.
Little purple crystal things.
That's fair. That's true. That's very true.
Is there any way to be able to, like, once you've used your 3 spell slots, like, be able to recover that without having to do a long rest?
Only if you are a wizard.
I'm not a wizard.
But you will probably have time while you are traveling, maybe a wee bit of time, not too much.
Okay.
I would assume we would at least get a long rest in our travel to Chiron.
I was more wondering when we were in the midst of fighting the worms.
Not while you're in the midst of fighting, no.
Okay, perfect. My brain will be invaded. It's fine.
Do we have the so do we have a thing set up so like if we're wearing the environment suits where we can like get the and we have potions, are there like things that we can have where we wear them in like injectors or something inside the biosuits to so we don't have to like take off the helmet and
Yes. The potions are like hypo sprays, so you just like jab it up, like in Star Trek they just jab it onto you when you've got clothes on, so
you can't just have it open with a straw and then look over it.
we can have a thing that like a straw that feeds into the helmet and just make it
No, I'm going to stab you with these hypodermic needles.
No!
Right in the neck.
Dabbing to better health.
Awesome.
That was better than my idea. You know, if it got into your arm or something like that, I was just going to freeze your arm off.
Oh.
That's hardcore.
Hope that it doesn't hit your head first.
You can get a construct built.
Not good.
Yeah.
That works out. It's
Exactly.
That's not good. So, is there a... I wasn't entirely joking when I was asking about this. Is it possible to obtain a potion of solar radiance?
I bet your friend Lee could get it for you.
Just as a thought, because it's like if we have, I don't know how expensive they are, but if they're available, then it's a thing we could use if somebody gets infected to try to fight it off, possibly.
Okay.
Is what I was thinking.
I was thinking if you're trying to cover all of us, there's no way. But if we can score one, I think we'd be lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So when your hour of preparation is up, Lee arrives with 2 other Battleframe pilots, Fisher and Sweet. And they have a little kit with 6 potions in it. There are 4 healing potions that you easily recognize. One is a little less common. It is 1 solar radiance potion. And the 6th one, Lee kind of leans over conspiratorially and she says, we found a dose of hypercrash.
Ooh.
And hypercrash is basically the haste spell in a can.
That sounds safe.
If you could explain for those of us who don't know what that is.
Sounds like something from Saved by the Bell in their very special episode.
This is a legendary can of Crash branded energy drink that was discontinued ages ago for being too extreme, as well as for hazardous side effects stemming from its magical additives. The regular Crash is the intergalactic Coca-Cola or whatever.
Basically, haste allows you to act multiple times within a round.
Yeah.
Ah.
And then you become exhausted.
Sounds right. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Drink this potion. A jittery feeling rushes to your extremities. On your following turn, you can take one additional action on top of your regular action and a possible bonus action. Additionally, you have advantage on all attack rolls and ability checks on that turn. Once that turn is over, you feel more exhausted than you did before and can't gain the benefits of this potion again for 24 hours. But there's only one, so this is in case of emergency, along with that potion of solar radiance.
Awesome.
Because this was somebody's collector item that they were hoarding.
Curses.
There is also a 24-pack of regular Crash.
Okay, well that'll be good.
That's a nice holdover, yeah.
Yeah. So during the thing, I picked up basically three bottled lightnings,
Okay.
one more concussion grenade, and 3 potions of healing.
Okay.
And I think if we can say this, I would have taken Oceanus to the market with me and tried to get him to stay at the station while we're going off on this, because I don't want him to get
Die.
hurt. Yeah, basically, but I won't tell him that. I won't say because I don't want you to die. I'm going to just basically, try to encourage him to stay at the station so that he can.
He was perfectly safe in the hidden room in the bosun's.
Until the rest of you die and he's stuck in there.
Oh wow, you said until. Thanks. Jeez.
That's why I don't want to.
Yes.
Bring him. Part of the reason.
We can drop off Oceanus at the station.
Unfortunately, I do not have time to yell at his superiors. I will try to do that if they're still around when I get
yet.
back.
Perhaps
If I
next
live.
week. Perhaps in
If
a
I
few
live.
weeks from now.
Perhaps. But the absolute last thing I want is to drag him in there, because we must protect him, for he is precious.
So precious.
Space cinnamon roll. Hey, Fritz.
Yeah.
You know, everyone here thinks I'm a terrible pilot, but I really am really, really good. No one even ever heard about the news of my broken spaceship.
Not from me, they didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't really expect anyone to, because it didn't really take off. And she pulls her glasses down, which are aviator glasses.
Fritz gets the sinking feeling that they're going to be face palming through this entire voyage.
Oh. You don't really need a navigator to get you most of the way there, because you're at the mall station and you can just jump to the next mall station and the next mall station, and then that'll get you most of the way there pretty much instantaneously. I will, however, let you all take a long rest, because you have just gone through the vastness of time and space, and weird stuff happens when you go into the void.
Time passes.
And time has passed, but it doesn't seem like it. For you, it seems like no time has passed at all, but the world has gone on around you. And then when you get out of the second Maw station, or as Cole dubbed it recently, the Maw of Madness, the lizard folk astrogator Yugen will cast the spell to allow you to get into perfect orbit with Chiron immediately.
That's super handy.
And from there, you can make landing.
Navigation spells.
Can we land with just the shuttle?
Sure.
Keep the ship in orbit and send the shuttle down?
That would probably be wise.
See you later, Ghosty.
We can tell you exactly where to go when we decide to just blow up the ship in an effort to blow up the queen. Got it.
Exactly.
All right.
Fritz is perfectly fine staying with the ship, by the way.
I bet.
So Rek Maraz is actually going to take over the ship wizard's room. That's going to be his room from there. And he's actually going to leave the roach and his squirrel, Zed, and
Ted.
what did we name the roach?
I don't think you named the roach.
We didn't name. Oh,
So who's Ted?
Ted is my little construct.
Wizmo.
My Wizmo.
And Fred?
Wait, Fred was the parrot.
Fred was the parrot. And Ned was nearly naked.
Indeed.
Okay, the roach's name is Jed.
Of course.
Right. No one eats this roach, or I will turn you inside out.
Okay.
Not an issue.
Lastness would probably step off the ship first.
I think before we step off, just briefly, are we setting down anywhere that is from the coordinates? Are we setting down anywhere that is adjacent to where we were, however many years ago that was, or is this a different part of the planet?
It's a similar region, but you notice that the laborers' camp that is in ruins and abandoned, but it has the colony has been moved underground a short distance from there.
Okay. I think as Lasness is getting ready to step off the ship, just and whatever excitedness there might be, Cole is going to just very briefly is just going to he's just going to just return and says, "Look, don't you run at these things? That's how they get you, okay?"
No running. But I have to pull these away from you guys, draw focus. If we're all hit, then it's going to be a problem. And for once, Lastness is actually being really, really serious.
And Cole says, "Yeah, just be careful, okay?"
Yeah. Well, you too. Just keep that blaster out. And I'll keep good old Rocky.
Named your hammer Rocky.
Yes, and there's a really, really good reason for that.
'Cause
Because my
it's a
first,
rocket hanger.
well, yeah, my first was just a hammer, and I named that Hammy.
Very creative.
Everybody says that.
Freedom plans to take. I forgot his name. Ted. Ted along for the ride.
Actually, Anino, quick out of character question. Are you sure you don't want the Thwirl to come with us? Aren't they kind of like special creatures that maybe might be able to see a wavelength that we cannot?
No, I'm not bringing the Thwirl with us.
Okay.
For all you guys know, it doesn't even exist.
I choose to believe.
He could
Rick
still
Morales
be
is just
there. We
crazy.
just don't know.
No, I'm going to be stuck on the ship with the Thwirl who wants to eat all the cabling. I'm the one who's going to have a problem with it.
Gotta give him some of those the little, what are those jar things called? Gotta give him some of those.
The little electrics. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of those little electric tea light things I can feed over time. Hopefully, if I can find him.
I put him back in the toolbox.
All right. Well, where to?
I guess the lizards are probably going to be, to a certain extent, taking point.
Yeah, I should probably move in formation with them, shouldn't I?
Yes. You can do that.
If they're walking with me, does that mean that I get a bonus on perception rolls?
Sure.
Yay!
So they will guide you to their colony.
Okay.
So you can pretty much get directly there without having to worry about any particular hazards.
What would this planet's like overall look be? Like, is Chiron like a water-based planet?
It does have a fair amount of water. I would say fairly balanced land to water. This particular area is kind of marshy.
Lasness checks the readings on her nanotech magic armor and goes, yep, this place is full of dihydrogen monoxide.
I think I'm going to end up keeping an open comm to Lasness so that I hear these absolute pearls of wisdom as they come
Yep. So by this time, you know that your three lizard folk guides are named. Well, they refer to each other in Draconic as Yugen, Jigen, and Kenta, but when they are speaking common, they refer to each other as Thick Boy, Sharp Sword, and Wonderstruck.
Thick boy.
Sharp sword and wonderstruck?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, Yugen is Wonderstruck, the astrogator. Jigen is Sharp Sword, the fighter, and Thick Boy is the heavy lifting guy.
I mean,
It's
you
very
can just
apt.
call him heavy lifting guy.
I forgot their names again. Wonderstruck, Thick Boy, and what?
Sharp sword.
Sharp Sword. Okay.
And so the entrance, they take you in, and all the corridors are 10 feet wide and with 12-foot high ceilings, so plenty of room for everyone. All of the rooms have 12-foot high ceilings except for a few areas. You notice that some of the tunnels are braced with wood or various other materials salvaged from the ruins of the military base.
It's like every now and then I'm going to probably like recognize a thing and just be like, just have like a, just having brief flashbacks as these things are going on.
Lastness looks over her shoulder and sees Cole and gives him a smile and says, "It's okay. If we stick together, it'll be just like the Star Scouts say. It's going to be fine."
Yeah. We got this.
Yep. So they lead you in. You see guard patrols in pairs. But they don't really bother you since you're with your 3 guides. And they will take you directly to speak with the Queen.
Nice. I didn't bring my ceremonial armor.
Sure, she'll forgive you since, we're the first people to come here in a while.
And I didn't bring a gift either. I'm the worst of the Star Dwarfs for visiting.
2 sets of 3 pillars flank a central area where 2 lizard folk hatchlings are playing. At the far end of this room, a wooden throne stands on a low stone dais. Carvings of reptiles decorate the throne, and glints of reflected light hint at the presence of inset gemstones. The head of several creatures hang on the walls, mounted on plaques of wood for display as trophies.
Well, that's pleasant.
Lastness follows the men up until they stop, and she tries to flourish a curtsy and a salute all at once.
Doesn't that require a dex roll to keep you from tripping over yourself?
Sure, why not? Station Master, is that okay?
Yes.
18.
Oh,
and
excellent.
Whatever my addition was.
Excellent.
I did get a badge for salute curtsy. Your Magistrix. Majesty. Majestic. Magistness. Hi.
I think you're muted.
Not what I expected.
I can't tell you how often I get that one.
I am Queen Otokent. And you, she looks at Cole. I know you.
I was here before. It was a while ago.
I was a child.
We were told that none of you made it. And it wasn't until now we met your envoys that we realized there was a colony down here. But we're here now to try to get you off of here. If that's what you want.
I do not have the luxury of being proud at this time. I will accept your help.
Well, we can. I don't know if we worked out the logistics of exactly. I remember I remember saying we needed to work out numbers of people and all that to figure out a plan for getting them out of here. I remember distinctly saying that, and then I don't think we followed up with specific details.
Yeah, I don't think we did.
Your magistrates, do you have many of your people outside of this colony area? Or have they all been called in?
Everyone has been called to shelter in place.
If they're all in one localized section, then perhaps we can coordinate an evacuation much more quickly.
But ours are not the only people on this planet.
Oh man. She turns and looks at the 3 guys that came with us. Could have mentioned that first.
We told you.
Oh, I probably wasn't listening. I'm sorry. Sometimes I get distracted.
Sometimes.
What?
Who were the other people that are on the planet that were mentioned, perhaps?
The Sahuagin were mentioned.
That's
as
true.
Perhaps having been infested.
That's true.
And the Queen does tell you that they have brought as many others into the lair as they have been able to find.
Are we going to be able to fit their population on the ship?
That was the next question.
Not
Hey,
for any length of time, but you have an astrogator and you have the maws. So for an emergency, you could probably make do.
hey, planet side, how many folks are you looking at try to cram in here? I can see what I can move around. Maybe make some space in these holding days.
We only need to do at least one jump, right? I mean, I know that Saltmaw is our port of birth, point
It's
of origin, but
it's 2 maws, I think, but I think that's all right. It didn't take a huge amount of time because we knew where we were going.
yeah.
It's more a case of just literally finding space. I just need to know, how many folks we're going to try to get in here so I can try to make the best space possible.
Okay, all right, calm down. Calm
So with the
down.
folks,
Thank you.
ooh. So with the folks that you've also brought in, how many roughly are we looking at, Majesty?
Can't hear you.
I also cannot hear you, but I read what it said, and I am now terrified. All right. So we've got a shuttle that'll take that we can start sending up groups. It's not too far from here.
Can someone tell me the number? Because I can't read it and I couldn't hear her.
I think only a handful of survived.
Whose
Not many,
hands?
only a
Okay.
handful survived.
Let's get ready for a couple handfuls. So Fritz will go ahead and start making sort of like makeshift birth areas just to make sure that big boxes and stuff are out of the way and no one's going to have to like get crushed by an ale barrel or something.
I rather imagine the goldfish clockwork carrying small things and trying to push little boxes out of the way.
Push boxes in the way. I'm probably going to have to send Sparky to keep him out of my hair.
I brought 10.
Oh, thank goodness. We've let him
Good
loose on
thing.
another world.
That's right. You just have Zed to deal with.
I assume we're going to have to send the shuttle up multiple trips back and forth
Yes.
to make this work.
As you make preparations to begin sending the refugees up to your ship, that is where we're going to call our session.
We're gonna get attacked. We're totally gonna
So
get attacked.
bad. So bad.
We're going to get
Are-
we're going to get so attacked.
I'm
So
I'm going to
very
need to
attacked.
find where those ship to ground nuclear bombs are real fast.
They're on there somewhere.
You got it.
Quick question about the queen. How do you spell her name? I just went phonetically.
Othokent. Othokent.
Okay.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
And so they also have like some Sawagan refugees, or were they all taken over?
They don't have any Sawagan with them. They have been fighting the Sawagan.
Okay.
There are representatives from the Koalans and the Lokatha. And a couple of merfolk. Look, almost like nautilids.
Cool. Gwalin and Lokatha?
Mhm.
Those are ones I have not heard of. Or Jim hasn't, at least.
Koala people?
Are these anthropomorphic koalas? Is that what they are?
I don't think so.
Interesting. Well, very cool. All right. Well, thank you very much. This is getting very interesting. There was a lot of trauma today.
Drama
And,
and drama.
And drama,
was,
and then shopping.
A little bit of whiplash from last week.
Yeah.
Yeah. But very cool, very cool. But let us also let us go ahead then and go around and feel free once again to say where folks can find you and any favorite moments or anything else, any other final thoughts about this session. And we shall once again start with our station master, Alyssa.
Everybody, thanks for watching. Thank you for playing. My name is Alyssa. You can find me on Twitter at Origami Shuriken. This is currently the only game that I stream online, but as my day job has been closed down due to the current events, I might start up something else. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, I just enjoyed watching the players kind of go back and forth and seeing how you all interact and play off of each other. And I've also really enjoyed to see oh shit moment between Cole and Lee.
Yes, yes. All that past character trauma coming to the head in a single episode.
At least I kind of gave you a little warning yesterday.
This is true. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. It's gonna get worse.
It is. It so is. But as we know, we appreciate pathos on this channel, and so let us move on to Mem.
I'm Mem. You'll pretty much just find me here on Sundays. I haven't been streaming much, haven't been posting much on Twitter. My favorite moment tonight was Cole's tension and dark backstory. It was very intense, and I very much enjoyed it, watching that excellent roleplay.
Thank you so much. Yes, if anyone wonders why Cole is such a jerk, we're now finding out why. It's this planet did it to him. And now over to May.
Hi everybody, my name is May. You can find me on Twitter at Madeline, but I use it very sporadically. I'm still trying to figure it out. Yeah, I have to admit that. You can find me here Sunday nights, and that's about it for the moment. I really want to give out a shout out to Fritz, to Cole, and to our station master. I think the three of them did some award-worthy acting tonight. Some of the best I've seen on this game so far. Can't wait to see more. Thank you.
Thanks so much. Thank you. No, this has been a fun session. It really has. And now over to Cazimi.
I remembered to hit the unmute button this time. I'm Cazimi. You can find me here on Sunday nights. I really don't have a presence outside of this particular little stream, so this is where I exist. Given the current circumstances, I may exist some other places. Who knows? I tonight really enjoyed, just like everybody has mentioned, the sort of character development. Everybody was very much like in their personas tonight and really kind of being able to bounce off of other people within those personas and doing their thing. Really, everybody kept terrifically in character. I particularly liked Fritz's being able to be the foil for Cole's sort of dark monologue-y sort of direction. And that was fun to be able to participate in that and kind of help that along. So I look forward to maybe not quite so many dark revelations, although I'm getting a sinking feeling we're going to have that and more. But looking forward to seeing where this is going to go. So
that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that was really cool. Also, just bouncing back and forth that way, because that was exactly kind of to an extent what was needed to really just sort of like break in and start communicating with other people. It was really good.
Yeah, I had a sinking feeling that you were going to need to talk to someone other than Lee in order to kind of bounce this out. So it sounds like things worked and you were able to kind of get that information out the way you were supposed to. So I'm really glad to see that happen.
Yeah, that was really cool. I liked it. I liked it a lot. And finally, we head up to Anino.
How's it going, everyone? My name's Anino. You can find me on Twitter at Anino Gaming. You can find an updated schedule for my streams on aninogaming.com. Though this Friday, we will not have Cyberpunk Red because Wandering DM will be doing a charity stream.
Oh.
Hosted for in support of Trans Lifeline, a support group and organization for trans people.
That's great.
So while he's doing that, I will also give him a little bit of a shout out because I play tested his recent book. It's a new adventure that he put out, and my God, I don't have any of this written down. Shit. It's on Drive-Thru RPG page. It's called Fell Deeds, It's a mini adventure. It's about 50 pages long. It's a lot of fun stuff. But definitely check that out when you get a chance if you are looking for another really cool homebrew for D&D 5e.
Very cool. Very cool. Awesome. Okay, and I guess I didn't say what... I think my favorite part of this session was just discovering the lizard folk there suddenly, because it was very much a WTF moment, and I thought it was just going to be a comedic thing, and then it turned so on a dime so dark when we found out what the deal was with them. I was just like, oh god, no. That was really good. That was excellent. That was excellent. As for me, well, before I even say anything about myself, I want to once again thank Jade Nebula for the art that you see here. Once again, I'm Jim Ryan. You can find me at OtherDoc on both Twitch and Twitter. My website is jimyesthatjim.com, where you can find my Geek Observation podcast and links to my various other podcasts, audio dramas, writings, and such. I have links down below to my website, Twitter, YouTube channel, and some things that I've written, along with links to game sign-ups and applications to join our Discord. Next thing that will be happening on this channel, aside from, well, in the mornings I've started doing things where I just try to, during the week, I try to come on in the morning and just chat. So if anyone's into that, I haven't set a time specifically, but, sometime between 8 a.m. and noon, I try to do that. And I will probably try to do that again tomorrow morning, barring interruptions. On Tuesday, we have a Las Vegas happening. We're continuing that mini campaign this month, and it is a game with rotating dealers, basically rotating GMs, and Katie is going to be taking up the helm, and I have no idea what's going to happen. It's going to be very exciting. We go on Wednesday nights to back to the city of Doctropolis with our Masks campaign. Once again, powered by the apocalypse, superheroes, teenage angst. It's glorious. And this week, on Thursday and on Friday, I am going to be participating in some more online readings over on Praxagora Thesmophoria. That channel, or D or Prax, is having us read. On Thursday, we're doing a reading of Antigone by Sophocles. And on Friday, we're doing Richard III. Some of you may remember Dee being here in a little mini campaign we had of RVR, which has Richard III as a robot. Some of you may remember Anino being in that as well. So this is the play from whence that comes. I'll be there reading like for every Duke, I think, having many conversations with myself. Let's see, on Saturday, once again we have Invisible Sun, The Edge of Paradox, happening in the evening, and then on Sunday. Sundays normally in the afternoons we have one shots. This Sunday we're actually going to be doing a development session for our Invisible Sun game, where we're going to introduce a couple of our guest players that haven't been on yet, from folks over in Europe. But we're going to go ahead and bring them in and find out about their Vizsli and kind of how they are related to the overall thing of what's going on. So that should be fun. And then, of course, that evening we will have more of this as we continue on this godforsaken planet and try to find out and see if we're going to get attacked by brain-eating worms. So glorious, so wonderful.
Not if, when.
Yeah, not if, when. And we get to see more. And Cole will get to have more flashbacks. It'll be wonderful. So that will be a lot of fun. Sign-ups right now are open for a couple of mini campaigns that are happening. We have sign-ups open for The Sprawl, which is a powered by the Apocalypse cyberpunk game. It'll be starting in mid-April. Sign-ups for that are running through April 1st. And then, of course, for next month's mini-campaign that I'll be running, Monster of the Week. Again, it's powered by the Apocalypse in the supernatural monster hunting genre. Very soon, I'm going to open up sign-ups for the one-shots coming up in April, starting with Something Is Wrong Here, which is a Lynchian sort of surreal game that I'm looking forward to tackling the challenge of translating to the online space, where you'll see how that goes. But if you want to sign up for something, go down and click on RPG sign up, or go to jimyesthatjim.com and click on game sign up. As always, beginners are welcome. So, when we hit the end card, I think I'm actually gonna send us over to do a raid on Dead Aussie Gamer. I've not raided them before, but they are playing Starfinder, so if you would like to keep the space fantasy going, we're going to go ahead and say hi to them. Feel free to hang on if you so desire and say hi to them with us. That again will be when we hit the end card. In the meantime, folks, thank you all very much for watching. Take care, and we will see you next week. Farewell.